In a recent ruling, a judge has determined that undocumented immigrants have the right to own firearms within the United States of America. Greetings, everyone. Today, we will be delving into a significant topic concerning the dismissal of firearm possession charges against an undocumented immigrant named Heriberto Carbajal Flores in Illinois. In June 2020, Carbajal Flores was found in possession of a handgun in Chicago. However, a judge, basing their decision on previous court rulings, determined that his criminal record and the non-violent nature of his arrest did not indicate a threat to public safety. The defendant argued that he had the firearm for self-defense and protection of property during a time of documented civil unrest. This ruling has ignited a renewed discussion about the rights granted by the Second Amendment. Without further delay, let us dive into our conversation. The recent dismissal of firearm charges against an undocumented immigrant in Illinois has reignited the ongoing discourse surrounding the constitutional rights enshrined in the Second Amendment. Without further delay, let us now proceed with our deliberation. In the dismissal of firearm possession charges against Heriberto Carbajal Flores, who unlawfully possessed a handgun in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood on June 1st, 2020, U.S. District Court Judge Sharon Coleman of the Northern District of Illinois cited previous rulings from lower courts. In her comprehensive 8-page ruling filed on March 8th, Judge Coleman, who was appointed during President Barack Obama's administration, concluded that Carbajal Flores's criminal record, which does not include any instances of weapon misuse, along with the non-violent nature of his arrest, does not provide sufficient grounds to determine that he poses a threat to public safety. As a result, she determined that he should not be deprived of his Second Amendment right to bear arms for self-defense. Under the provisions of Title 18 of the U.S. Criminal Code, Carbajal Flores faced charges for violating the law that prohibits individuals without legal documentation from owning firearms or ammunition, as well as receiving any firearm or ammunition that has been transported across state or international borders. The defendant argued that the firearm was in their possession for the purpose of self-defense and safeguarding their property during a period of well-documented civil turmoil in the spring of 2020. Importantly, it should be noted that Carbajal Flores has never been convicted of a felony, a violent offense, or any crime involving the use of a weapon. Following the tragic killing of George Floyd by Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin on May 25th, numerous protests erupted across the nation during the spring season. It is worth noting that Chauvin was subsequently convicted and sentenced to 21 years in prison. According to the ruling, Carbajal Flores has consistently complied with and satisfied all the specified terms of his release, while also maintaining gainful employment and remaining free from any new arrests or outstanding warrants. Carbajal Flores made 2 unsuccessful attempts to have the charges against them dismissed, with the court denying their motions on April 13, 2022, and again on December 19, 2022. It is worth noting that the latter denial occurred approximately 6 months following a landmark decision by the U.S. Supreme Court. In a 6-3 vote, the court struck down a century-old New York law that required individuals to demonstrate proper cause in order to obtain a license for carrying a firearm outside of their residence. This ruling originated from the case of New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, Inc. et al. v. Bruin, Superintendent of New York State Police et al., which was brought to the attention of the higher court by the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association and gun owners Brandon Koch and Robert Nash. Justice Clarence Thomas, in the majority opinion of the court, asserts that the Constitution provides presumptive protection for an individual's conduct when it falls within the scope of the Second Amendment's plain text. The government cannot justify its regulation by merely claiming that it serves an important interest. It must instead prove that the regulation aligns with the long-standing historical tradition of firearm regulation in our nation. During May 2023, the U.S. Supreme Court made a significant ruling in support of gun control advocates in Illinois, rejecting a plea for an immediate injunction against the state's prohibition on the sale and acquisition of semi-automatic firearms. In response to the recently enacted legislation by Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, which includes a statewide ban on assault-style weapons as well as restrictions on magazine capacities, the National Association for Gun Rights, NAGR, has made a formal request. According to political commentator Jay Oliver, it is imperative to acknowledge that individuals who are in the country unlawfully are prohibited from owning any type of firearm that has been acquired through illegal means. Gun shop owners have a moral obligation to ensure that they do not assist those who are attempting to bypass legal procedures in their quest to obtain a weapon. Regrettably, there has been a concerning pattern emerging in which innocent lives are tragically lost due to the progressive inclinations of those who hold positions of authority within the courts and shape public opinions. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.